The winner of this game tonight is going to face the Seahawks in a 2-game match. Will the Steelers look to rebound and get another crack at Seattle? Or will Denver smash any hopes of the Killer Bees run at another championship? Tonight's uniform preview, the Broncos will be in their road whites, top and bottom. The Pittsburgh Steelers will be in their Bumblebee jerseys. My personal favorites from them. Tonight. It's going to be a bit wet in Heinz Field, where I think Noah rode a boat in and rounded up 2 of every animal. Or in this case, 2 of every dirty, terrible towel flying Pittsburgh Steelers fan. In Pennsylvania, at least. Don't want any non-Pennsylvania fans come after me after that whole roast. I unfortunately think they will. How's that? From the wetness of a Pennsylvania side street to the flood outside Heinz Field where Noah was swimming through rounding up 2 of every animal, welcome to tonight's game between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Denver Broncos. A lot is riding on this one. You see Roethlisberger warming up, Devontae Booker, C.J. Anderson, Dylan Murray. These guys know if they win, they will face Seattle in the winner's bracket. The Steelers win, they will go back and get a rematch against Pittsburgh, against the team that shut them out. Broncos have won the toss, and they will elect to receive this one. Jordan Norwood back deep to return. Oh, it's muffed. Hyman picks it up, and he's still on his feet, trips out at the 21. You knew the rain tonight was going to be a major factor in these players trying to get some kind of grip on the turf surface. Since the Heinz Field is an outdoor stadium, these players are going to have to really be careful trying to get grip on the turf today. Oh, back at it away and complete. As you look at the offensive line, C.J. Anderson is tonight's player to watch. As tonight's starting lineup has been brought to you by Head and Shoulders as they're going to another pass play. As it is incomplete again, Steelers have a tough defense, so I expect this to be the toughest game yet played by the Broncos. Many people are expecting Green Bay and New England to be tough, but look at them. One against Green Bay and a late interception. And thoroughly trashed New England 31-10. And Murray gets to Virgil Green and converts here on third as Ryan Shazier was there on the stop. So here. Green got off the route. Dylan Murway's always seemed to trust Virgil Green a lot in this tournament because he's been that tight end that catches those passes over the middle wide open, basically.
The offense back to the line after the completion for a first. And an extra tight end on the field now.
So they bring Jeff Hyman out. There's a flag on the play. Anderson up the middle. Look at this. He gets brought down at the 40. A massive run cranked out by C.J. Anderson. Looks like, yeah, it's going back. By Matt Paradis, the reliable center. And I swear to God, that looked like Tom Nalen for a second. First down and 17 for Denver. Demaryius Thomas there on the stop for the catch for a gain of 3. And how about this, man? If you're Emmanuel Sanders playing against a former team that drafted you and Antonio Brown, going into the stadium that used to be your old stomping grounds, the question is, what's going to motivate you tonight in that game? Something like that. You trade to a different team. That team plays your old team. Better question is, what's that motivation like?
Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground.
3:34 on the clock. Almost a bit of a dangerous snap there as Thomas with another catch down at the Pittsburgh 48. And they're going to go no huddle. As you see, Dylan Murway's got a 2 tight end set to the left, Thomas to the lone receiver to his right, Virgil Green, the always reliable last-second tight end option. Sanders catches it up the middle as he gets brought down at the 29. Looked like William Gay was stuck face down.
Excellent execution all the way around. Plenty of time for the quarterback
and that one.
To work their first down magic.
Gonna go run that inside stretch with Jimmy Graham, number 80, C.J. Anderson to his right. And it looks like they're going to run it. And the Steelers are apparently good at stopping the run because C.J. Anderson has not ripped off his patented go straight to the sideline and book it runs.
Teammates will get excited when they watch that. And after the play on the ground, that brings up second down.
So second down and 9 for the Denver Broncos as they tip it to Ronnie Hillman this time. Look at this. He's still on his feet, but he gets a gain of 1. Lawrence Timmons was there on the stop. Like he tried to rip a spin move off, but got just murdered by Timmons. Yeah, Lawrence Timmons was there. As they're going to be going to look to keep this drive up and moving. Murway up the middle, catches Jordan Norwood. Norwood to the left side, and he gets brought down at the 5. So, yeah, what was that about playing in the rain tonight? Yeah, I thought so. Dylan Murway has made crazy, dangerous passes in the wet, especially when many people thought it was going to be tough for these players to get grip on the wet turf. Because if you flash back to 2007 Monday Night Football, when they played here against the Dolphins, it was a 3-0 game because nobody could do anything. You'd kick it off, and the ball would be stuck in the grass like it was a chip in some guacamole. That's how wet it was. Many people were expecting similar conditions tonight as Anderson went backwards on the play.
Don't you panic, took an island, left the mansion. Drop the roof,
William Gay was there on the spot. So let's go ahead and see if we can put some points in before the quarter ends.
And the seemingly endless drive continues.
As another incomplete pass, 3rd down and goal. As there's a picture of Lattimore, number 16, is there on the. Sorry, Bernie Fowler was there on the. Was trying to catch it. Surprisingly, defense hasn't done anything much tonight. Third down conversions today. The Broncos have been two for two. Hillman, does he get there? Nope. And they're going for it. They jumble their wideouts. Hillman with the catch. Touchdown, Denver. Ronnie Hillman with a 2-yard touchdown pass. I mean, like I tell you guys, sometimes it's not the deep passes that work. Sometimes you have to adapt to another team's defense and just check it down to your nearest running back, like he did with Ronnie Hillman. So after that one, the PAT will be up. They're going to have to really contend with the weather tonight. The heavy downstorm, the heavy rains, and no issue for McManus, 7 points. Ronnie Hillman, 7-yard touchdown reception. So you're going to see Ben Roethlisberger and Mike Tomlin's patented offense ready here as McManus gets the signal, and he's going to put it up. It's a long kick to Marcus Wheaton. Wheaton with a bit of a run. Wheaton down at the 39. So excellent run by Marcus Wheaton. As there goes Captain Thanos himself, Ben Roethlisberger, a.k.a. the guy you would normally see on an Amber Alert on I-25. Ben Roethlisberger, he's got those 2 rings. He's the type of quarterback that kind of acts as a running back when you really think about it, because he gets a hit, bounces right out of it. And speaking of running backs, here's Le'Veon Bell, and he goes backwards. And here's the offense, some of the notable toys. Ben Roethlisberger has a lot of them, and we'll get to those next quarter. As we've already completed a quarter here tonight in the wet and rainy Heinz Field, the Broncos are up 7-0 on the Pittsburgh Steelers. And how about this? Sanders' first game here as a Bronco since 2015, when they played in real life, at least. Remember, the Broncos claimed him off of free agency in the 2013 offseason. As we're back here at Heinz Field, in a wet Heinz Field, to the point where I think they need to build a canopy around this place. Either that or some form of protection, because it's wet right now. That could probably be why the running game hasn't really been that effective. As Wheaton goes in motion. Roethlisberger. Whoa! Checks to Wheaton. And he gets a 6-yard gain there. Third down and 6. It was Marcus Wheaton that was there on the stop.
Short of the sticks after that completion, and now it's
He's got, looks like Roethlisberger is in a shotgun formation. As he goes up the middle, incomplete. Overthrew his receiver. A little bit of tension here between Will Parks and the man he was covering. It's like we don't see any fights. Watch right here. He totally overthrew Coates right there, number 14. Roethlisberger overthrew him to Darian Stewart, who could have had an easy interception right there and an easy run back. So, number 4 getting ready to punt. Sanders will be back deep to return. We have not hit a punt return at all in this tournament. Let's see if we have one here. Nope. So the Broncos will set up shop at the 32. So now the Broncos are going to attempt a run play this time with C.J. Anderson. As he got caught behind his own man. He's on his feet, stepping on the chest of Hayward, the big bus himself, not Jerome Bettis.
Second down following the run. And the defense coming out this time in the nickel. The snap from the gun. Tries the right side.
As Anderson caught it, but it was short, incomplete. Third down.
Nice coverage downfield. Looked like the receiver broke open quickly, but the defender ate up the gap.
Two for 3 on third down conversions for Denver tonight. As he catches up the middle and it's incomplete. So this means the Broncos are going to probably punt it here after that short excuse of a drive. Britton Colquitt, we haven't seen him much in this tournament. As he's going to, whoa, what a terrible punt. Fair catch to 40 by 31. Tomlin's apparently proud of that terrible punt.
And a great spot to start this drive from here.
So let's see what Roethlisberger can do with this drive. Oh, he slips, and he's overthrown it to Antonio Brown, who is the intended receiver. Wow. Even then, like we said, how heavy the rain is and how it's been acting with the wind right now. How the wind's even playing into it because of how wet it is. As Roethlisberger gets stripped at midfield. Loss of 8. Haven't heard much from Von Miller these past few games, just flat stripping quarterbacks. It's usually Marshall and Derek Wolfe. Watch this. Boom. He didn't even get a chance to move.
And the O-line will have to do a better job
Roethlisberger did.
on third down after that sack. Catches the snap out of a gun.
As Marcus Wheaton was there as he gets murdered by 3 Stormtrooper Broncos. Talib, TJ Ward, and Brandon Roby all in a human centipede. Basically right in the face of Marcus Wheaton. See right here. He catches it, and then look at this. Talib comes in, and then Roby and Ward finish him off. Time to see what the Steelers are going to try a field goal here against Denver.
Day and night, I toss and turn, I keep stressing my mind.
So now they're going to try to pull a field goal here. Radowski is the place kicker, and it is short.
I think he actually just mishit that one, but every kicker privately knows that every kick his job is dependent on. So as he goes to the side.
So the Broncos are going to be able to take over at the 42 with 1:55.
And on first down, they'll operate from the gun.
As Norwood to the left, he gets flat murdered at the 38. A 24-yard pass from Dylan Murway that time to Jordan Norwood.
The offense back to the line after the completion for a first.
So now they're calling slants here at the audible.
From the gun.
Fires it up the middle, incomplete. Dylan Murway with, couldn't tell who was the intended receiver on that one.
In this case, I think he'll take incomplete as opposed to being hit from behind and a fumble results.
So in minute 11,
Second down and 10.
going to call some instructions for his tight end. Virgil Green breaks through. He lobs it, and he's down. Dropped it. Incomplete.
Even incompletions have their place. A beautiful deep attempt. They were unable to connect, but now the defense has to think about that for the rest of the game.
So they're looking to convert here on third down. Thomas Murway rolls to the right, and Green catches it, but it was a gain of 8, 4th down and 2. And we'll see what the Broncos can do here if they decide to run the fake here. I mean, they're right there. They could go for it. In fact, that's probably what they're going to do here. McManus. And he fakes it, and it doesn't work. As the Steelers are going to now set up shop at the 30. A lot of back and forth so far in these last few drives. And you give the special teams credit for going for a pass like that, especially in a crazy 4th down situation, 4th and 2. And unfortunately, that didn't work at all.
And a nickel back on the field for the D. And a big tight end shifting around. Shotgun snap.
Look at that. Roethlisberger took the snap, incomplete. So sack 2 for 5, 19 yards today. as it looked like DeMarcus Ware was there on the stop. Sorry, couldn't tell if it was him or Derek Wolfe. And second down and 10 from the 30. Miller tries to shed the tackle, and third down and 10.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free.
That's the problem, I mean, especially with this rain and how wet I've seen this turf can get. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if a lot of people are slipping around and all that, and how wet it is. As the flags on the play, it looks like maybe Derek Wolfe, Antonio Brown with the catch, but there's a flag as he stepped out. Yep. Derek Wolfe was there on this, was flagged. So we're gonna bring the blitz here.
So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve.
As he hands it to Le'Veon Bell. As Le'Veon Bell got the first, the Steelers were going to call a timeout. Well, if we're going to do that, you can play it that game.
Whistle blows, timeout. The defense is going to take it, get together, and talk things over.
Mike Tomlin talking things over with his boys. Gary Kubiak talking things over with Derek Wolfe and Von Miller.
So first down here after the completion.
They're going to bring everything but the kitchen sink right here.
Snap comes back out of the shotgun formation.
As Roethlisberger trying to go deep. As Marcus Wheaton catches the touchdown. Steelers on the board. Look at that deep ball. That was a prayer and a half. And I honestly was thinking Talib was going to break off and do another interception, but there's a reason Roethlisberger is one of the more experienced QBs in the league. He knows how to throw that ball in single, double, triple coverage. He don't care. He could throw it and it could be swarmed by a bunch of freaking groupies from Foo Fighters, and he would still make the catch.
So they're in for 6. Let's see if they can make it 7.
They're going to try to tie it up here, as this time no problems making it through. Game tied 7-all.
Everyone getting lined up, and it looks like we are just about set to run.
Jordan Norwood takes the return this time. He doesn't fumble it, as he gets flat murdered at the 30. At the 30-yard line, right here, is the Broncos. It's like they might be calling a run. They're going to be calling a run play here. If you look at what the offensive coordinator wants.
So some extra tonnage out there on the jumbo set.
Dylan Murway is going to take the snap and run into a wall, loss of 3. That time. So second down and 13. Looks like they're just doing this to run the clock out. So this means Steelers are going to receive the ball this half, the start. Game tied 7-all. This is the lowest scoring Bronco game since all the way back in December last year. between both the Broncos and Packers. As you see, that was a highlight of the first half right there. Dylan Murray connects with it. Pass to Jordan Irwin. He gets stripped. Dylan Murray connects with Demarius Thomas. He gets visual green. Dylan Murray up the middle to Jordan Norwood. So both teams have looked terrible, each getting negative yards every time they run. Right here, you see the Broncos are going to kick this one off. McManus sends it deep. Hopefully he can line up another punt returner. Toussaint will take the knee. He will set up shop at the 25. The 25-yard line right here. Le'Veon Bell will be ripping off a solid gain of 5. At least this was before Mr. Holdout, Le'Veon Bell. This was kick-ass running back Le'Veon Bell. Looks like they're going to be staying on the ground here. I mean, the Steelers were trying to get some form of yardage. I mean, if you're somebody who's playing fantasy football right now and you have these two running backs, right? I mean, it's early, but you're really going to hate life at the end of this game because of how wet it is and how tough it was to get grip in the heavy rains that moved through that are in Pittsburgh right now.
3rd and 4.
Derek Wolfe trying to get off the flat as he throws it away, incomplete. So they're going to punt this one away. I figure with the rain, you're going to see a lot of punting in this game. Barry will be taking it up. As they're calling for a fair catch, they're going to down him at the 46. As Murray tries to, checks it to Thomas and loses a yard on that one. He tried pumping it to whoever was to the furthest left. William Gay was there on the stop. And he was right there. And William Gay, see him get stripped around in a ragdoll, but he was in a white guy sandwich. Sorry, a white uniform sandwich. So, speaking of Demarius Thomas, he has so far averaged 6 yards per carry. Catches it by Thomas, and he's down at the 34. Gatorade Impact Performer tonight for Dylan Murray. He has completed just over 61% of his passes. There you see Demarius Thomas mean mugging the camera. Thomas caught that one up the middle, it seemed like.
I still see your shadows in my room. Can't take back the love that I gave you. It's to the point why I love and I.
So.
And now after the catch, the offense with a fresh set of downs. And some extra help.
They're going to pop it. And up the middle, almost by Emmanuel Sanders, incomplete. They're still 7-7 in that one. Right here is he tried getting it to Emmanuel Sanders, but unfortunately wasn't there enough on the catch.
So incomplete on first. Let's see what second down has in store. So a nickel formation here for the defense. The snap from the gun.
Look at that. Catches it to C.J. Anderson. Does he get there? Probably a yard short, unfortunately.
Plenty of credit to the defense for not giving up the first down, but offensive coaches will tell their receivers, you got to know where the sticks are. Run your routes deep enough in order for us to
As he caught through, then he tried zigging it back right, but unfortunately he gets swarmed by bumblebees, and not the black and white ones, the yellow and black ones. Because I know somebody's going to probably get confused with that one. So 3rd down and 1. As you can see, obviously how wet it's been tonight. Oh, somebody tripped. That was Thomas. He goes straight to the left side. He has one man to beat, and he gets in. Touchdown, Broncos. You just saw he went from tripping because, again, of how wet it is and how tough it was to get grip on the grass, the turf. But he gets it going and adds 6 more points. It was been a close game so far. See what Pittsburgh can do to respond.
And the point after coming up.
And that PAT was right through, no issues. Now the Broncos are up by 7.
Drop the roof, more expansion. Drive a coupe, you can stand. She love bitches undercover. I'm an ass and titty lover. Guess we all meant for each other. Now that all the dogs free, and we out in these streets. Can you do it? Can you pop it for me? Pull up in a demon on guard, looking like a fraud.
Right here. Let's see what the Steelers can do to respond. McManus is going to put it in the air. And Toussaint takes it out as he gets brought down at the 19. So the Broncos are going to set up their defensive workshop at the 19. The Broncos will have the Steelers will have 2 men in the backfield. Le'Veon is getting tripped up, trips over to Marcus Ware for a gain of nothing.
Second down following the run.
As Roethlisberger tries to play fake, checks it to Le'Veon. And Le'Veon up the sideline. It's a massive gain. Huge hole in the Broncos secondary. Luckily, if TJ Ward didn't get there, guarantee you Le'Veon would have been gone and they'd have tied it back up. Surprisingly, neither of these quarterbacks tonight have thrown any interceptions, which is shocking. Last time Steelers played, they threw one against the Seahawks. And last time the Broncos threw an interception was back against Rivers a couple Friday nights ago.
So that does it for 3 quarters of action.
Wow.
After this timeout, you're watching the NFL.
Demarius Thomas, you saw him stripped down, get stripped by that catch. By the way, we'll go ahead and update you with the how the second games, which will be at the Super Bowl, will work. The halftime show, I already plan to have Foo Fighters, Chris Daughtry, and probably a little bit of Lil Wayne in there as well. Those are the performers. If you guys want different ones, let me know. Anyways, the fourth quarter has started here at Heinz Field, and it's been a surprisingly close game as neither team has scored above 20 points.
First down following that long game.
Roethlisberger is going to try to... Oh, and it's picked off. As soon as I was talking about how perfect these quarterbacks have been tonight, Darian Stewart steps in from a wayward pass by Ben Roethlisberger, picks it off. Watch this. He totally overthrew Antonio Brown. Right here. And then there goes Darian Stewart. So after this one, the Broncos set up shop at the 44. And now he's scrambling. Murray gets thrown out of bounds at the 44, gain of 1. As both teams have had about an equal number of passing yards, Denver's gone backwards in terms of rushing. Oh, and he hit as he threw it incomplete.
Really nice pressure by the defense. They got the quarterback on the run, but they didn't allow him to run for a first down downfield. Made him throw the ball, incomplete pass.
So now the Broncos line up in a 2 wideout set. 2 series to the left, 2 to the right. Ronnie Hillman in the backfield. As look at this, Virgil Green up the middle of the field, down at the 6.
I don't know what you thought, partner, but I thought he was gone after that catch. I thought he was taking that one to the house.
Both quarterbacks have not really been very well. Actually, both of them are numbered number 7. If you see the irony in that. One of them plays like the real number 7, and one of them is a grade 8 dick, for lack of a better word. As Murray gives it short to Sanders, but he gets tipped and stripped around, incomplete. Second down and goal. As looks like we're still going to a 4 wideout set. Thomas gets in, gets across the plane, touchdown Broncos. Now we knew that this Bronco offense was going to start cranking along if they started working together.
Yeah, people talk about arm strength all the time. Well, if you're not precise,
Look at that. He's pirouetting around. Looked a little scary there, but he was able to catch it as Ryan Shazier dove for his feet, basically.
Point after try here.
As looks like they're going to try to go for the point after. McManus puts it up, and no problems. 21-7 Broncos. Demarius Thomas in today's game, he was there at the touchdown.
We are teed up and ready to
as
go.
McManus kicks it up. And
He's going to return it. And
he had smashed the 28. Couldn't tell who it was. Number 33 was there on the return. If these Broncos can hold on for a little over 3 minutes and hold the Steelers, they're going to the championship.
The defense here in a dime look. Catches the snap out of the gun.
As Green this time catches it and sends number 80 flying. Luckily, he gets a gain of 7. So he catches the ball, and then he runs into a wall of 3, and then 3 guys, and then they just throw him back basically like it was a wrestling move. Watch this. Roby is the one that dealt most of the hit. It was like TJ tagged him like this, and then Roby just straight up smacked him like that. Roethlisberger trying to look for man, throws it away, incomplete.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
3rd and 3.
Steelers have been terrible on 3rd down conversions tonight as their tight end goes in motion. Taylor tries to break through. He does. And 4th down and 3. It was incomplete. It was Marcus Wheaton that was there on the catch. Chris Harris was there on the stop. So it looks like they're going to bring the kitchen sink.
The offense wants to try to get the first down here on 4th. And he's all alone in the backfield.
Roethlisberger takes the snap. And look at that. He's going to launch it. Brown gets through. Look at this. We told you he was going to be dangerous after the catch. Down at the 32. You want luck? That was up the middle. Talib was basically nipping at his heels. At Antonio Brown's heels right there. Luckily, he was able to get the catch. Get some extra yards, move his team along. 1st down, Steelers. They're at the 32. Roethlisberger drops back. Looks like he's going to check it down again to Antonio Brown. Asking, you shall receive, he said. They are down at the 1. Roethlisberger tries to... Oh, he gets hammered. Loss of 8 that time. Chris Harris was there on the stop. Roethlisberger to Coates. Back to the 1. And right up the middle, touchdown, Hayward Bay. Steelers are right back in this thing. They're going to go for 2 here. They want to win, and they want to win big. Late in the game, you thought that, looked a little close. Looked like he did step out. Or step both his feet out of bounds here. See if they're going to call it. However, there's no challenges in the final 2 minutes. Oh, yep, there it is. There are 2 coaches on the sideline. See what the ref says. Oh, boy. See what the ref has to say about this. He stepped into the gray. I'm not sure what the rest are thinking, but he stepped in the gray on that one. So, anyways, Gradowski's a place kicker, and they're going to tack on that extra point. After a 2-minute drive, Roethlisberger brings his team back in it. They're going the onside kick. They're going to hope that this pays off. And nope, Will Parks. Drama late tonight in Pittsburgh. Tomlin disappointed the onside kick didn't work. Kubiak happy the onside kick worked in his favor. It means they're going to run the clock out. This should end it here as he bounces off a bunch of tacklers, and the Steelers are going to take a timeout. So we'll see that.
The defense got a bit of a blow, and now Reddy's here for the next play. Everyone's looking for the big runs.
Minute 9.
The 20 to 30-yard plays, but anytime you're picking up good yardage and
C.J. Anderson, 6 yards, 2 yards, 6th longest reception here. They're in the eye. Virgil Green does not get the first. And he is going to kneel it here.
So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready.
Minute 5. The Steelers are currently hoping anything happens.
And the defense searches for one more stop here after the run on second down.
Broncos have been 4th and 7. 4th for 7 on third down. Anderson gets the first, and it looks like the Steelers officially ran out of timeouts. Last time the Broncos won at Heinz Field was back in 2006 in a 31-20 victory. And tonight, and last 2 times they played, ended in a loss and a win. In fact, these 2 teams seem to be pretty much evenly matched on paper when you really think about it. And looks like Dylan Murray is going to kneel it here. And they're going to let the clock run out. And you guessed it, when these Broncos began their game back in November, began their run of games with the road game against Minnesota, and they lost 10-3. It was a gut punch to the Super Bowl 50 champs. And as you guessed it, this one is going to be it here.
Not enough sense of urgency there. Play clock hit 0, 5-yard penalty.
Yeah, I like your point there. Not enough sense of urgency. People walking up.
When the Broncos came into their home stadium for a Saturday game, many people wrote them off. But these Broncos have proved everyone wrong, and they have ripped off a long streak of wins against some of the NFL's best. And now they are just moments away from going to the championship and facing Seattle. One last kneel down by the Broncos, and the clock is going to run out. In just 10 seconds, the Denver Broncos are going to begin their defense of their Super Bowl 50 crown.
This is one of those where one coach is going to look back and say, oh, yeah, we just made enough moves to win the game. The other one's going to probably pick this one apart.
It doesn't have to be the entire game film.
It was 20 years ago that the legendary number 7 on the Denver Broncos led his team to 2 straight NFL championships and Super Bowl trips. Now it looks like tonight the tradition continues. Final score, Denver Broncos 21, Pittsburgh Steelers 14. So they are going to take on the Seattle Seahawks in a 2-game series. A daytime game at 1 o'clock, at 2 o'clock Eastern. Broncos go to Seattle. And then Friday nights. This will be the first week in March. The Denver Broncos, if they win, they will be the home team in Super Bowl 51, which means they get jersey choice. Final score, Denver Broncos 21, Pittsburgh Steelers 14. So, here's how this works. The Seattle Seahawks, since they won against Pittsburgh back on February 10th, they will host the Broncos in a bit of a short turnaround. They will be in their hosting the Denver Broncos in their... Sorry, the Seahawks will be hosting the Broncos in their blue and gray jerseys that the Seahawks wore against the Bears. And the Broncos will be in their road whites, again, for the second week in a row, top and bottom. If the Broncos win, they will get home field advantage in Super Bowl 51 at NRG Stadium, the championship game. If the Broncos lose to Seattle, Seattle will get home field advantage.